I wanted to give some unsolicited advice to the physics students who are returning to school this week or will be returning in the coming weeks. As all of us are aware, artificial intelligence, especially in the form of generative AI, such as ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, are quite pervasive now throughout our society, basically. They're just integrated in so many different tools and web browsers and applications. And I wanted to address specifically the physics students because how should physics students be using these tools at all as an aid to their learning? Most large language models at this point from the major companies can basically solve any college and high school level physics problems that you might encounter in your classes. And so there is going to be a strong temptation to want to use ChatGPT to just get your homework done more quickly. I would advise you not to do that as much as you can, but I'm not saying that you should not use AI whatsoever. I think that the skills that come from a physics course are intimately related to learning how to think, how to problem solve, especially quantitatively, and how to express problems in the language of mathematics. Now, of course, artificial intelligence, or let's just use ChatGPT as the nominal example in this video, ChatGPT can, like I said, solve any problem basically from a physics textbook that you might throw at it, but it doesn't necessarily impart understanding to you. That does require you to still pick up the pen or the pencil, draw out the diagram, write down the quantities that you know, the ones that you're looking for, and then try and solve it. So here is my unsolicited advice as someone who did a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD in physics in the pre-generative AI era. My advice is to use AI as a learning aid, as in if you really are stuck on a problem. As in, give the problem your undivided attention first. Don't feed it into ChatGPT. Set a timer. Set a timer on your phone or your watch for, let's say, 20 minutes. And just think about how you might solve this problem. Go down any rabbit hole that you think might be worth pursuing and see how far you can get. And if you truly have no idea, well, at the end of 20 minutes, you're allowed to ask ChatGPT to at least give you a hint to start with the problem. And I think this is where the learning is going to come in, because instead of asking ChatGPT to go end to end for you, I think it's nice to sort of build it in steps, as in try and have it give you a hint to get you started. Say, hey, what is the first thing that I should be doing? And when it tells you to write down Newton's laws, or if it tells you to make a graph to sort of visualize what's happening, just follow that and don't ask for more than that. Just start with that first step and see if that can get you going. And if you're still stuck, then prompt it again. I would say, again, try and do this sort of think for a set amount of time. If you get stuck, ask ChatGPT, and then continue and repeat this cyclical process. But even if you do understand how to do these problems from the start, one idea that I've had for myself is that even if I'm able to solve a problem, it might be interesting to see if you can ask ChatGPT to solve it in a different way. Ask it to use perhaps energy conservation instead of Newton's laws. Now, of course, this is quite general because there's a lot of things you will learn in physics, but I think if you really want to derive the maximum benefit from a physics class, you really can't ask ChatGPT to do it all itself. You do need to play an active role in your own education, and it will become evident that you don't know how to apply the physical principles on the midterm or the final exam if you are just using ChatGPT on all the homeworks and you're not actually properly studying and learning. So this is how I would go about it. I know the temptation is strong. I know we would rather just not be struggling with the assignments and have more time for other things besides school. But I do think that this will be an important test of discipline for students out there. And I think those who are going to have the discipline to not default to using ChatGPT immediately and will use it as a learning aid as opposed to a do it all for me kind of machine are going to see the most benefit and will learn the most and carry the most forward into their future physics classes, because physics, like math, like almost any other quantitative field, is built upon itself. You learn Newton's laws before you move on to electromagnetism and learn about Maxwell's equations, before you move on to other subjects. And then you'll see those concepts again in your upper division courses, but at a higher mathematical level. And if you don't really understand that first class, then when you take that second class a year or two later, it's really going to not make any sense because the math is just going to be a lot harder. So I really implore the physics students out there who are thinking about using ChatGPT to solve all their problems for them to please don't use it to hopefully get you on the right track if you're stuck, and to ask it to do fun things with you. Make it fun, right? Like make an animation for you for example, visualizing parabolic motion when you're doing 2D kinematics, or ask it to, I don't know, make you some sort of study guide or quiz for your final, right? You don't just have to be doing this for the problems. You can get creative with it. Ask it to help you program a, I don't know, website for you that can help you, write down the concepts in your own words and help connect ideas and make knowledge graphs so you can see how this connects to this, connects to this. I mean, there's so many different ways you can be creative with it, and I really implore people to supplement your education, not to replace the active learning process that comes with it. So I think that's all that I have to say for this one. I hope you have a good rest of your day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, as a final note, if you are going back to school for physics, please consider looking at my compendium of math and physics, which I put on my website. It is a place where I've put my course notes from both undergraduate and graduate school for free, so you can download and you can learn from them. I'm still in the process of putting more of my notes on there, but these are the ones I have so far. And if you find them helpful, please consider supporting me on coffee.com. It goes a long way, so it can help me continue making content like this and building the compendium from scratch. So thanks so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.